Count Johann Maurits of Nassau-Siegen built his house in The Hague, hence the name the Mauritshuis. The Count was appointed by the Dutch West India Company as governor of the colony of Dutch Brazil. He governed from 1636 through 1641 and used his wealth from sugar to build the house. He took scientists and artists with him to study the country, including Frans Hals. Unfortunately, he also played an important role in the slave trade. At least 24,000 enslaved Africans were transported to Brazil under his authority. He sent many things back from Brazil, especially wood. Brazil continues to be an important trading partner to Holland, as you will see in the last shot. The Mauritshuis was one of the first and purest examples of Dutch classicism and remains one of the most beautiful museums in the world. This is the anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicholas Tulp. He changed his name from Klaus Pieterzoon during the height of tulip mania, adopting the flower for his trademark. It's as if you changed your name to crypto. Rembrandt was only 25 when he was asked to paint the portraits of the Amsterdam surgeons. It was his new calling card, showing the young painter's great talent for painting lifelike portraits. This corporation portrait radically changed the genre. It departs from the tradition of Frans Hals since the sitters have a focal point other than looking straight ahead. Amsterdam's new university opened in January 1632, the time this painting was commissioned by the Surgeons Guild. The doctor uses forceps to pull back the tissue of the arm, the surgeon's and artist's main instrument. Many look past the body to the medical book on the right, where the diagonal leads us. And here are some more Rembrandts. In Saul and David, David plays the harp for his king. Merry Company depicts the proverb as the old pipes so chirp the young, which the old woman reads from her music sheet. It means that a bad example leads to bad conduct. It includes Steen's wife elegantly holding a wine glass. It is a pendant to the Merry family in the Rijksmuseum. In a self-portrait, the laughing father is teaching one of his children to smoke a pipe, one of Steen's sons. The bagpipe is a phallic symbol. The caged birds refer to the chirping. The stream of wine divides the space in two, congestion on the right and an open space on the left. The curtain opens up the life of man, which depicts disorder despite the best intentions. In the center, a patron and a musician chuckle at an old man offering the young mother an oyster, thought to be an aphrodisiac, as the serving girl prepares more. Diana and her nymphs may be Vermeer's first painting. He would soon abandon history painting after his second piece, Christ in the House of Martha and Mary. One of Diana's handmaidens uses a pumice stone on her feet. The only attribute of Diana, goddess of the hunt and of the night, is the crescent moon in her hair. After technical study, it was discovered that what was a blue sky could not have been painted by Vermeer, as it includes the pigments Prussian blue and chrome green, which did not exist in Vermeer's time. So it was covered in dark brown, making it a night scene. This makes the front light source more believable and within the realm of Diana. Painted in his late 20s, his view of Delft is one of his two outdoor scenes and his only cityscape. Under cumulus clouds, the city moves from shade to sunlight in the distance. A light breaks through to the new church, burial place of William the Silent. The activity of a busy port is non-existent. Commerce has yet to waken. He has painted his hometown as a magical island. The girl with the pearl earring is a tronie, which is a type of work common in the Dutch Golden Age. It would depict an exaggerated expression and usually exotic clothing. They were made to sell, and Vermeer needed all the money he could get. Her parted lips are enticing, as are the reflections in her eyes. The pearl sports two teardrop highlights which define the shape of the pearl. The book and the film are pure conjecture. It is unlikely that Vermeer knew the girl. Here is Susanna and Simeon's Song of Praise, which was painted while the young Rembrandt still lived in Leiden. A tronie of a man with a feathered beret and a terrified Andromeda as she awaits the Kraken. Jan Lieven shared a studio with Rembrandt in Leiden. Lastman was Rembrandt's teacher. The Laughing Man was painted while Rembrandt was living in Leiden. Homer dictates to a scribe who has been cut out of the painting. At a time where women had barely any chance to become painters, it is astounding that Rachel Ruysch became one of the wealthiest painters of her time. She was so successful that many of her paintings sold for more than Rembrandt's. Cuyp's cattle have a certain dignity. Cows in Holland were symbols of the Dutch nation and renowned for their milk production and traded all over Europe. Speaking of cows, Paulus Potter's enormous masterpiece, The Bull, is under restoration. Specialists often collaborated back then, as did Rubens and Bruegel in the Garden of Eden with the Fall of Man. Bruegel was responsible for the composition. Rubens painted Adam and Eve, the tree, the horse, and the serpent. Then Bruegel took on the plants and animals. Still life with lighted candle uses earth colors. It symbolizes the brevity of life. The wine glass or Roma reflects the unsnuffed sole source of illumination. In another memento mori, Vanitas still life, the candle has burned out and the watch probably needs winding. By the way, Dutch names that end with an SZ refers to the son of. So Peter Klaus means Peter, son of Klaus. In Girl Eating Oysters, this girl seems to be offering more than just food. The Goldfinch is really a trompe-l'oeil, or fool-the-eye painting. Painted from below, it is meant to look like a bird on the wall. Its lack of detail and soft brushwork may have been aimed at a quick deception and the illusion of movement. It probably was not framed. Rembrandt's pupil Fabritius died young in the explosion of the Delft gunpowder magazine in 1654, which destroyed a quarter of the city, along with his studio and many of his paintings, perhaps inspiring the book and film of the same name. In Moses and Pharaoh's crown, the child Moses is seen by Pharaoh's counselors as a threat. They test the toddler by making him choose between gold and a dish of glowing coals. Moses picks up a coal, burns himself, and rushes towards his stepmother. In The Sick Girl, the girl is pretending to suffer from a wandering womb, a serious condition in those days. The only remedy was for the patient to sleep with her lover, which is probably what she intends to do. Solomon van Ruisdael taught his nephew Jacob how to paint, and paint clouds. Pleasures on the Ice is a two-wing composition, almost like a triptych. The diagonals of the trees frame the perspective, ending at the drawbridge. An outhouse is made from two boats. And check out the dandy. This is Garland of Fruit, surrounding a depiction of Sybil receiving gifts from personifications of the four seasons. That's a mouthful. Bruegel collaborated on this painting with Van Balen, who was responsible for painting the medallion. Bruegel painted the abundant garland, the surrounding figures, and numerous animals. He painted with such a fine touch that he was called the Velvet Bruegel. Vase of flowers in a window contains 30 types of flowers. Bochat worked from sketches so that he could include flowers that bloomed in different seasons. Unusually, the still life has a landscape in the background. This is an oil sketch. Rubens made it as a design for an enormous altarpiece in the Cathedral of Our Lady in Antwerp. Another collaboration for the Velvet Bruegel, Christ's Descent into Limbo. This lamentation is strikingly similar to van der Weyden's deposition in the Prado. The film started with Johan Maurits as governor in the Dutch colony of Brazil and exported much to Holland. I found this right outside the museum. It seems the more things change, the more they stay the same.